This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the U.S. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
I knew it. Another Hurrdat Media production.
Hi, Chantal.
Hey, Roxanne.
Hey, cousins. So in today's episode, we are covering the Valley. But before we get into the Valley, I was thinking something, Chantal. So my company, my work, I'm obviously on a team, and we're doing like summer's coming up, right? So we're doing this like step contest, and I don't ever get involved in anything, but I am passionate about steps. Like at a minimum, I will do 10,000 minimum steps a day. And that's like my minimum. So I guess all of like our HR people are going to be doing steps and a step contest for like May 5th to May 30th. And there's like an app that you use and it like creates teams and like whoever wins at the end. I thought how cool if we do this like with our listeners, and it's like a good way and motivating to see like who's going to win the step contest.
Oh my gosh, I'm down.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like you shouldn't be involved in it because like you're going to kill us all.
No, I mean, but that's the point. Like, let's have some competition, you know?
Okay.
And this will motivate people. So there's an app and I
have like Team Chantal and Team Roxanne.
Oh my gosh, I love that. But
how are we gonna know like who's gonna be on our team?
So apparently like this app, it's called Stride Kick, and it allows you to like it like does it for you. Like it separates teams and stuff, and it does everything automatically. So I'm like, I don't know, because I just downloaded it today. Mine starts May 5th. So I'm like, wait, that would be so fun for our listeners to do right before summer. And it's so motivating as well. So I know some of you are like, no, like I'm going to sit my ass down. But let me know if you guys are interested, because I thought that would be something fun to do. And I think you can like message on there and stuff. So,
well, I'm interested. So let's do it.
Yeah. So it runs May 5th, and we'll see how Chantal's pregnant, but does it.
I actually walk every day when I'm in my thing, but I still don't hit 10,000. Like the only way I can hit 10,000 is if I really walk at least like an hour at work and then I work out, and like then I barely hit my 10,000. I really don't know how you do it.
Even when I'm like on my phone texting or like doing something on my phone, I literally get up and I start walking while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I just don't sit my booty down, but yeah. Let us know what you guys think. I am actually so excited about the Valley because I'm obsessed with the Valley. I think we need to be more active on social media about the Valley. I really hope our listeners are like watching the Valley, because I think it's so interesting whether I don't know, if you're not married, you're probably not going to want to get married after this.
Yeah, literally.
But
but if you are married, it helps you not wanting to get a divorce. I can tell you that much.
Well, it helps you want to get divorced, but it's just like, it's interesting to see the dynamics of relationships, Chantal, because like I noticed with Nia and like Danny, I feel like my relationship is kind of most like them. I don't know if that's wrong, but I say that in the way that Nia like looks at Danny like, don't ever fucking embarrass me, you know?
Yeah, but that's more respect though. So like it's like, and some people are a lot more cool, like and laid back where they're like, I don't care if like you embarrass me, it is what it is. But like you can tell she has that look like don't do this and don't
Yeah.
do
Or
that.
why
And like
did you do this? She's more
yeah.
calmer though. She's like more where like she just like gives a look and you can tell she's so pissed, whereas I probably am not able to like control myself at that moment.
Yeah. Well,
So
she's probably composed for the TV, and then when she goes home, she gives him the earful.
100%.
Yeah, where like you probably even in front of TV, were like you would go off. So
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I think I would if I was like on a show, I would probably be very like cautious of that. But you could tell I'm mad, but I wouldn't say what I normally would say when we get home, you know? And I
yeah.
think that's where they lie. So I do find my relationship, and I would hope most of our relationships are like theirs because the other ones are so scary. So I mean,
Yes.
we have Janet and Jason, and
And
so
they seem normal right now, but I think
eh,
we see more later on from them. Like he always seems shady to me.
okay. I know some of you are not going to like this because like Meghan Markle is like a controversial person. Like some people either really like her or hate her, but Janet reminds me of Meghan Markle. And let me tell you why, because like Meghan Markle just did a podcast and she was like, H and I just, how there's like a honeymoon phase. Like we're at the honeymoon phase now. Like they have two kids that are toddlers, like 5 or 4 or whatever. And she's like, we're at the honeymoon phase now. And like, I just love him so much. And we just like love each other so much. And, it's just like the best it's ever been with us. And there's like this thing with Super Mario where they catch the princess. And it just like reminds me of mine and H's relationship. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Are you jealous?
No, Chantel. It's just Chantel, don't even because
I
that
know. That's very
couple,
cringe.
any couple that has ever, I swear to God, any couple that I've known that acts like this, or any couple on the influencers that act like this, they get divorced. Okay. They just get divorced or they have like a really crappy relationship. So yeah, like I'm not able to be like, oh my gosh, like, yes, like my Prince Charming. Like, no, like I'm not gonna say that, but like, yeah, that's my best friend, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's like honeymoon phase. Like, no, like we're at the thick of it. Like we have 4 kids, like we have kids, like different parenting styles. Like we have finally, after 4 kids, realized like how to manage that. So I just literally cannot. And Janet reminds me of that. Janet reminds me of like, babe, like, oh my gosh, like I just like love what you did. And I'm just like, shut up, dude. But
I know, like the way she was like, I loved that you did that. It's like, oh my gosh, stop it.
Stop right now. Just stop. Okay. So, anyways, let's start from the beginning. So, what made me sad is that after Britt and Jax have like this massive fight right before he's entering rehab, Britt goes to her son and she's like cheering him on. And it's just like wild how parents have to shut that shit off around your children. But I also feel like that's the best kind of parent because it's really, really, and even if a parent doesn't do this, I understand it because it's so difficult to do when you're heated. But I just like look at Britt and I'm like, she's a great mom because she just probably got into one of the biggest fights with Jax. Like her emotions are probably everywhere. And then she's like going to the pool and she's like, yeah, good job, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh gosh, like being a parent is hard. And I see this a lot on TikTok where they're like, what you mean you have kids and then all of a sudden you are pissed off and you had a bad day at work and then you go home and then you have kids saying, what are we going to do? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh my gosh, so true. So
yeah, the mom role is always on. Like I think that's like where it's hard for a lot of people. It's like, and it's like, you have to give props to that because you're always on no matter what. Like you can have off days here and there, but at the same time, like when you do that, you feel so guilty and like that can affect your child. So you just always have to be cautious about it.
Yeah. And yeah, most moms immediately feel guilty. So it's like,
yeah.
It's weird because I don't like Janet at all, but I like her husband. And Jax, like, going into rehab, he's talking to Jason and he's still a victim saying, everything I've done bad, Britt does. But she also doesn't make you feel like shit. So from what we've seen, she's always tried to uplift you. She was always like his biggest cheerleader. He literally calls her fat and ugly. And it's just so messed up. And he's been doing this from day one.
Yeah, and it's like, what Brittany does to you, like, how does that affect you and your drugs and all the nasty things you're doing? Like, you can't keep putting blame on her. And like, hopefully that's the number one thing he learns, is to stop being the victim. Like, we're gonna keep saying that word a lot, because like how these people play, and like, I think that's what's great about the show, is like, if they can watch themselves, they be like, oh my God, like something's wrong with me.
And in foreign world, like we're not allowed to be the victim. Like we're not allowed to be the victim no matter
No.
what, to a fall, kind of, where it's like, well, no, I really was the victim in this. And they're like, we don't give a fuck. Like, get back up. It's a new day. You're here, like, type of thing. Which again, to a fall, it's like whatever. But I also think because of that, we have a hard time with people who play victim,
Especially when they have nothing to back it, especially when they're truly not a victim. Like, especially when there's something like where it's like you're trying to make people feel sorry for you when there's nothing to feel sorry about. No one in this world, literally no one, feels bad for you.
Exactly. Side note. So, Chantal, how I said people are just different in Hollywood, in California. And I said, we have listeners. I'm sure our listeners are lovely that are from California or that area. And our listeners reached out and they made a great point, and they agreed. They were like, absolutely, these people, who most of them on the Valley, are weird, like Jax Taylor, and the people who are desperate are for fame are absolutely weird. But then they reminded me that these people don't grow up in LA. They moved here. So the reason there are so many of these weirdos is because they come from different states and are so desperate for fame. But the people who are born and raised in that area don't actually have these issues. And I was like, that's such a good point. So I apologize to our fellow, what do we call them? Californians? I don't even know.
Because California is such a large state.
Exactly. Around that area. I'm sorry, because that's true.
LA peeps.
Yeah. And what's so scary is that Jax Taylor is from Michigan.
I know.
I don't know what happened there.
Kristen.
Kristen.
Yeah.
Literally 20 minutes from where we live. So, oh my gosh.
Kristen Doty and Jax Taylor, the biggest weirdos of them all.
No, Kristen, I love her. Like,
now, but like, let's not go back to her past.
Yeah. You know what's so demure, and what more men need to do is, when the ladies came to Brit to talk about Jax entering rehab, Janet's husband is like, all right, well, I got to go. And I was like, I respect that. Like, you don't need to kiki with them.
Yeah, he came and did his job. He took Jax, and now it's time to exit.
And this is when I got the ick, when Janet's like, I'm just really happy that you did that and you took him there. And I just love you. And obviously I'm toxic, you guys. I'm owning it, because I was just like, Janet, shut up. Like,
well, it was very ick. And then, like they all kept talking about, like, is he going to last 30 days? And I want you guys to know that Jax did last all 30 days in this program, if no one knew that.
Well, I mean, good. He spent 30,000. So I hope you would.
1,000 a day.
What's crazy is,
because like, so many people that check themselves in and they're like, hell no, I'm getting out. Like, after 5 days, 1 week. And like, so like, I give him props to actually stay in there for 30 days.
But I also feel like when you are responsible for paying for it, like a lot of the times, like your parents are dropping on it, or like people around you are helping. And so like, it doesn't feel as bad when you leave. Whereas when you're like actually paying for this, like up front, and then you have like responsibilities outside of this, like you're like, okay, I really have to stick this through.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also what's crazy is if Jax and Brittany didn't separate, and Britt obviously threatened the kid from him, as she should, but Jax would have never went to rehab. But because his child is involved, he's being held accountable, where she's like, if you don't go, you're not going to see your kid. And I'm going to tell the court, like, this is why. If they stayed married, she wouldn't be able to do that.
I agree, for sure.
Brittany,
I want to look up, hold on. I want to see their podcast, because like at the time they were still doing their podcast, but now they have their own.
Oh, okay. So they separated.
Yeah, I think, it seems like, they did separate.
Well, I mean, yeah, how is that going to work?
Yeah, I think Brittany took his name. I don't remember what their names were. I think so. Yeah, they did separate.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Brittany, she says, I'm a mother now. I have to protect my child. The only thing I'm like, why do people have to have children with people like this when they knew exactly how they were?
Yeah.
I know at times, like, we're all like, I just want to know I'm going to have a baby. But to bring your baby in something already so dysfunctional, it's like, you guys need Jesus. I feel like that's what's lacking in all their relationships, except Nia.
But it's funny because I think
Nia or Nia, I always F it up.
Nia.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think but I think with Brittany, she comes from a Christian family, like, from the South. Like, it just really is crazy, like, what she put herself down for, and she endured during that relationship, and like she just kept allowing it, and she still got married, and she still went on. So it's like I still feel bad for people, because sometimes, like, it's still shitty what happens to you, but also at the same time, like, you have to, like, again, own up to your own actions that you did. And maybe she is now. Maybe she's like, I'm not accepting this anymore. And at one point I did, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure they lose that faith also when they come here and
Yeah.
they're like surrounded by that, unless like they really were raised in something where it mattered to them to the point that you tell the man you're marrying, like, this matters to me, it needs to matter to you, or we're not going to be together, which I don't think Brit is the type who would have done that, like
No,
Jax
she wanted so bad to be the girl that Jax ends up
exactly.
with.
She just wanted to get married, dude. Um, so Kristen goes to a tea party with Jesse, and Jesse talks about how nothing is adding up with Michelle and her current boyfriend as far as timeline. And he thinks they've been together for 2 years. And Kristen, in a confessional, is like, okay, just so we all know, the guy I accused Michelle of being with for a year while she was with Jesse is not who Jesse is saying right now. And when there's smoke, there's fire.
100%. And like, I just want everyone to just stop. Think about right now, if Jessie was a girl, okay? If
I know.
Jessie was a girl,
Yeah. Mhm.
and we were hearing this, like, all the little clues that he is now bringing up to us, which Roxanne will tell us in a second, like, all these clues, like, we would be fuming for that girl and just going crazy. Like, all these things are not just like random things. They mean something.
Yeah. Well, Jesse says that Michelle swears up and down Aaron wouldn't date a married woman. And maybe they didn't date, but even when you see that flashback, it's clear they had like this like
Chemistry.
smiling. Yeah. They had this emotional relationship. Like, flirtation is where it's disrespectful. Even the flashback, like I said, is just like, it was like, I don't know, you guys. Like, to me, cheating is like, that's it, we're done. But to have an emotional relationship, like over a one night stand, both horrible. Okay, please, like, understand, both disgusting, not tolerable. But an emotional one, like, no, 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 no. Like, that's like that's insane. So I do feel like she had that. And basically everywhere Michelle went was near where Aaron lives. And that's a lot for someone. And then Jesse is hosting something and he's like, I'm still going to invite Michelle and I'm going to tell Michelle to bring Aaron. And that is huge of someone to do instead of like leaving her out.
Yeah, no, I thought that was very like nice of him. And like, I just think, like, it's funny because like throughout the episodes you will hear these little digs that Michelle tries to do about him, and they still are not they don't compare to what you did to him. So like, you can keep saying those things and trying to make him look bad, but then in the day, like, if roles were reversed, we'd be going nuts on him.
Yeah, no,
And like,
100%.
if Jesse, like, for example, if Jesse said like, oh, my wife didn't touch me, we wouldn't feel bad for that. But like, Michelle says, oh, Jesse wouldn't touch me. And it's like, no, stop it.
That's so true.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't give you the right to go and find someone who will touch you. Like, of course, like, hopefully like you divorced, but you literally cheated on him, and probably with multiple people.
she keeps deflecting and saying, well, he treated me like this. I told you
Yeah.
that on her
Mhm.
podcast, you guys. She will not stop. She's giving example for example of like how terrible he was. And it's like, you made it clear from episode 1, season 1, that you did not like this man and that you just like chose to marry him and have a kid with him.
Yeah.
Again, if you hated this man, she seems like a very strong-willed person. If you hated this man, why are you having a kid with him? Why are you bringing a kid to this world? Like, it sounds like he's always been this type of way with you. Why are we bringing a kid here? I don't get it.
And why are we like always on this bashing train? Like, what are we trying to prove here?
Yeah.
You
No.
messed up. You are the one that messed up. Why are we now trying to prove that it's okay that you messed up?
Well, no, here's the thing. Jesse doesn't seem like the best husband. He doesn't seem like he was a good husband to her. Michelle seems like she was not a good wife at all. Like, outside of the cheating, she does not seem like she was a good wife. Like, she seems like a very negative, cold person. Like, she seems like she has like crazy expectations, but she like also like knew what she married. And I know that might be unpopular, but she doesn't seem like a treat that if that was my husband, he wouldn't seem like a treat to come home to.
No, I know. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so like, if you guys know from the get, like, if you guys know at this point, we are not meant to be, I cheated on you, I'm over it. Why are you like going around bashing the whole time just to try to make yourself look good? It's weird.
Yeah. I love, by the way, that we're seeing Kristen's journey to pregnancy, because I don't think people realize the process of trying to get pregnant. They do, but if like you fall into complications in, like how every month, like you're checking and all this stuff, or like you fall into this, I feel like it's nice because you can see or relate, or if you don't, like, you just like see the other side and you like have empathy for like people who go through that. And I got so emotional for Nia because, you know, she tried a year and a half, and every month the disappointment of just wanting it so badly and then checking a pregnancy test, like that is so sad to me. And like, look, now she has a blessing of she's pregnant with her fourth
3.
kid.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I didn't know she's pregnant. She's pregnant.
Yeah, Chantel, she's like so pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah. Chantel.
I know.
Nia,
I haven't. I don't follow them on social media, so like I didn't see.
Nia asks about wedding making via baby making, and Kristen points out how she told Luke that she doesn't need a big wedding and she'll just get married. And I could totally see him being scared of the pressure of having this big wedding and spending all this money that they don't have. So I really do feel like that's the reason why that's not a priority for them, because they're on the show, and to them it's like kind of lame if they, you know, don't have like this wedding, especially when they're on the show.
Yeah, I think so too. Wait, just to back up, you were saying Nia's pregnant, or are you saying Kristen?
Both of them are.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I knew Kristen was.
Both of them are super pregnant. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a boy chat, and I was dying with them saying that Jason is not in it because of his Android. Because there's always that one person, like our cousin's husband, he's not like allowed to be in any of our chats because he has the Android. So it's just like so funny that people still have Androids.
I know, and like, it's like I'd be so happy in that instance. Like the only time I'd be happy that my husband has an Android.
Right. Oh my gosh, so true. It's like he's not in like chats like that. In the boys' chat, Jesse says he has evidence of Michelle sleeping with a man and collecting money. Wild accusation. And they're
Wild.
both just, yeah, they're both just trying to destroy one another's reputation. But again, I look at it if roles were reversed and I was cheated on as a woman throughout our marriage, and then like I'm hearing more things about this man, I'm not protecting you, and I will talk on it. So if I do hear, like right now, if like, let's say Jacob cheated on me twice and he admitted it, and then I hear this, I would be telling every one of you, and I heard he's collecting money too. Like what? Like, I get it. Like, it's not good. But if I'm being cheated on and like, I'm going to say that, and I don't care, like toxic me, I'm going to say it, you guys. I'm going to say it to the world. I'm going to tell everyone. I'm like, this man cheated on me. And I feel like you're lying if you wouldn't do that.
For sure, but I think the only thing that it's like, okay, just let's think about Isabella,
Right.
like their daughter, you know,
I
like
know.
let's just think about that for a second. Like let's come up with a different rumor or come up with something else.
Yeah, like, well, we're on a TV show, so I probably wouldn't do it on a TV show, but you know, like in real normal life, I'd be like, yeah. And you know what I heard? Okay, so what do you think about Danny drinking and being inappropriate when he was drunk? You know, telling what's
Luke?
Jasmine and her, I forgot her, I wrote it somewhere. He said like get daddy a drink. And to me, Danny just reminds me of like a high schooler who can't handle his liquor.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him because like they're making it seem like maybe he, you know, like drinks so much, and it's like, okay, like some people can, and maybe that is his one problem. Not everyone's perfect, you know, in this life. So if that is his one problem, like he does need to learn how to get a hold of it, especially being on the show and being around these messy people.
So Jacob's watching The Valley now. He's caught up, and I love that he is, because I told him last season, I was like,
yeah, that's good that he's watching it too.
Yeah, and I love
What
that
did he
is.
say?
Yeah, well, he loves Nia.
Yeah.
And he's like, she just seems like a great woman. And I'm like, no, she really does. He's like, she's like perfect. And I'm like, yeah, no, she's like beautiful. She's amazing. Of course. Like, I agree with you. And I'm like, but you know what? Danny is like amazing. And I was getting jealous. And I'm like, cause like Nia to me is like a 10 out of 10. I told you guys, I follow Nia on my personal social media way before The Valley ever existed. When she was like Miss USA, I followed her infertility journey. I knew like everything about her. I followed her, and I like, obviously she's like stunningly beautiful, perfect, 10 out of 10, and her faith base and whatever. But anyways, I was like to him, I'm like, Danny seems amazing. Like he's just like such a good dad and like amazing, amazing, amazing. He doesn't fall short at all. Like, you know, just like talking shit. And he's like, Roxanne, he literally told another female to get daddy a drink and grabbed a woman's butt. And I'm like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, wow, yeah, you're right. Back to Nia being perfect, you know, because she does handle things very well. Because like I said, I adapt more to that relationship. But I feel like if Jacob did something like that, I would maybe snap at him where she just gives him the eyes and she's like, well, you did it though. Like you did it, but we'll talk about it later. Just go over there, you know?
A lot of patience that woman has.
Yeah. And they're at Dave and Buster's, and Michelle apparently was not allowed to wear makeup because it would get on Jesse's shirt. Like, this is the small stuff that I'm like, move on. Like, you just brought your whole ass boyfriend here. So just
Like
move on.
every guy says that they don't like when their girl wears makeup. It's like actually sometimes a compliment. Like, oh, my guy doesn't like when I wear makeup, you know? And like, it's like, okay, does he likes you more natural? But it's like just the silliest, like smallest things that like we all, even being married now, I can come up with so many things that maybe my husband says that's a little annoying. You pick your battles.
Yeah, exactly. Jacob always says that to me. He's like, no, you don't need that. Like, you look great, like blah, 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 all that stuff. And I'm like, stop it, Jacob. I'm like, I want to get Botox on my forehead. He's like, you don't need that. I'm like, Jacob, Kylie Jenner is your celebrity crush. Like, stop it. Just stop right now.
The fakest of them all.
Yeah, right. And he's like, no, like but you don't. I'm like, just stop. But what was crazy is like she said that and literally she's like barely wearing any makeup as she's saying that.
Yeah, so maybe
like, bro, like you just don't wear makeup anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brittany tells Michelle what Jesse said, and I did feel bad for Michelle. When she heard this, she was shaking, she's crying because she's like, how can you say this? And Chantal, I was dying laughing. I was literally laughing out loud when Danny walks in and Brittany is like, Luke said that you said this. And you can tell that probably poop started coming out of his butt.
Yeah,
and
like that's one of the worst things that you would want it to happen. Is like
worst
someone
feeling.
calling you out, like about you telling someone else. Like I think this happened to me like once or twice in my life, and I've almost died.
And you're around everybody,
Yeah,
and you know it's going to be confronted. So you're like sweating immediately. Your stomach starts hurting. You're thinking about throwing up. You have the sweats. It's a horrible feeling. And you just look at his face, and he is dying. He's like thinking, "Why did I tell Luke this?" And you can tell that Nia is so annoyed that Danny said something. And because he was like, oh, like I didn't know that this was going to start something. And she's like, well, you said it, so it's going to start something. So now you just got to own it. And you can just tell she's so aggravated by him.
She literally gave him, this is the part where you keep saying, she literally gives him the eyes. She gives him this stare and this annoyed look. And she's like, dude. And he sees it.
Yeah. Michelle says that Jesse's broke and he can't pay rent or he doesn't pay child support. And yeah, like, I mean, okay, well, again, like now we're going to go for what he does. It was bad of him to say this to his boys in a group chat, 100%.
What do we think? You're going to get to the point where like he basically says, oh, we did it to see who the mole is. Like, did you take
Chantal, like,
yeah. Okay.
Well, wait, so I hate when she says, is it my fault my husband never wanted to compliment me or love me? Because I feel like, again, she too did not do that with him. She did not compliment him. She did not love on him. I just don't like Michelle. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys, because I know that we're in a world where it's like, okay, well, like a woman said this and like, we got to have the woman's back, like 100%, but we're also not Paige and Hannah. So like,
no, I'm not going to have a woman's back who cheated on their husband. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, so like, if that was you or anybody else, like you own the shit that you do and you move on from it. Like you could literally say like, I messed up so much in my marriage and you know what? And it made me cheat and I'm happy I'm out of that marriage because he wasn't that great to me. So that's how you have to go about it. Not trying to make him look so bad and like all the things that he did to you and kind of try to give us the reasons why you cheated and almost justify it. But it's like, no, you did something wrong. Point blank, period. That's it.
So Jesse says that, like he did say this in the chat and they have said things. And every time they say things in this chat, it gets released. And he's saying like, they've been trying to figure out if there was a mole. And
this was like, a great excuse and setup. I would run with it all day.
Me too. Very quick with it. Great job. Like, good job, Jesse. Like, very toxic. We know you're full of shit, but you definitely didn't say that because he does say in the after show, because I watched the after show, he does say like immediately when I sent that, I felt like regret. So it's like, no, you didn't do that to see who the mole is. Like, you're not about to like say that your wife is an escort for a mole. Like, it's just not happening. But Nia is such a real one because she's like, why do these boys think that these boy chats are private to begin with when everyone's wife has their password to their phone? Which is like, Nia, no, not everyone's wife does. But yes, like you do. I don't know, maybe Janet does. I don't know. But absolutely, like I like get popcorn and just like will read my husband's like boy chats. You know, like I will like read it and I'm like, okay, like good on not responding and like, making him feel like he should continue, like that person should talk like that. Like, no, we don't do that. So I'm just like, yeah, why are they even acting like this is sacred? But I swear they're acting like that because the rest of them are so toxic in their relationship.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's dumb of the boys to act like if you guys are going to say these things, like it's going to come out regardless. And especially on a show too. So it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me is like the minute like this was said, I would have went up to Michelle right away. Like Jesse is wrong for not going up to her and be like, I know this was said, I'm sorry. Or he could have told her the mole excuse, but then instead he says in his confessional, like, why hasn't she came up to me yet?
See, I'm like different about that, and I'll say why. But so
No,
Michelle,
he's the one that's in the wrong. She's not. So like, why would she go up to him and be like, why did you do this?
well, yeah. So Michelle gets invited to this trip that Jesse, again, he rented a house, and she's saying that she's going to have the group vote for him to stay at a hotel while she and her man stay at the house that he rented because she thinks it's weird. Do you like if there's anyone on earth who thinks they can defend this? Like, let's debate this. Like, this is the one thing I'm going to debate because, like,
no,
what
this
in the
is
hell?
weird. This is weird. This is like borderline weird.
And in the after show, like Brittany is so annoying to me because like she's like, yeah, like absolutely he should stay in the hotel, blah blah. I'm like, shut up, Brittany. Like Brittany is bothering me.
Yeah,
Like
this is
bothering
you
me.
could be a girl's girl and still say like, hey, it's his trip. Like, why don't you still come? But maybe like I'll stay in a hotel with you.
And this isn't like Brit. Like I don't remember her being like this on the Vanderpump Rules. It's like whoever was right is right, wrong is wrong. Like period. But I'm with like the girls. Like I think it was Jasmine who said this, but
It was
Michelle,
Jasmine and Kristen almost.
yeah, Michelle shouldn't go at all. If she really wants him to stay in this hotel and she is like so over and which she has a reason to be, don't go. Like period. Don't go with your boyfriend. Like that's it. With your husband being there.
I feel like the boyfriend was never going to come to this because like he said like, oh, have fun or something. Like he wasn't coming on this trip.
But he does come on it. We see it in the previews.
Oh, okay. So maybe that change of events.
He was always coming, Chantel.
No. In this episode, he literally was like, that sounds like crazy for you. Like that's going to be a weird thing. And she keeps making it like it's just her going.
Okay, maybe I didn't catch that. I thought it was interesting that Jesse pointed out, see, like, this is where it kind of different from you, where he points out, like, of course, that Michelle's the type of person who won't confront him about it, but she'll go and, like, vote him out to everyone else. And if I was Michelle, I would go straight to the source and be like, why the hell did you say this?
I just think in that situation, like, he could have done it too. Like, one of them could have, but he also is the one that said it. So, like, he should be the one to go up to her and apologize and say something.
Yeah. So on the after show, they asked Nia about Danny getting blackout drunk. And what's interesting, Chantal, is that Sheena's there, Brock, whatever his weird name is there,
Brock.
like the husband. Yeah. Lala's there. Tom Schwartz is there. So they're like definitely on the show, like full time or something. And yeah, like so they're like Brock and Lala, they're all making commentary. And Nia says that Brittany told her, and she said Brittany was so worried telling her because she thought that Nia was going to be mad at her. And she's like, absolutely not. I'm a girl's girl. I would never be mad at that. Jasmine says that Nia apologized for Danny and that Danny texts her 2 weeks later, but never texted her fiance, Melissa, apologizing. And they find out it was because he was so drunk and he thought that this whole time he said it to Michelle, not her fiance.
Oh.
So like clearly like he was just really blackout. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Danny said that they ended up going to couples counseling over this.
Oh my God.
Nia don't play.
She's
and
crazy.
I love that. Nope, she don't play. You're not about to disrespect me. Like clock that. She don't play. And I love that.
And I think that it probably goes to show that like you do have you can maybe have a drinking problem. And like
I don't think at all he has a drinking problem. I know because like there are times where Jacob like will drink and he is like just like a lot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you clearly can't handle your liquor because you're like that much. But it's like not like it's not like every time he drinks. It's just like when he drinks like too much,
I know, but that's also a problem sometimes. Like, why don't people know their limits? Like, you have to know your limits, or you have to know, like, when I do drink 2 or 3, I end up drinking 4 or 5, and then I get this way. Like, if there's a pattern, there's a problem.
Yeah.
If it's happened once or twice, those are mistakes. But if it happens more than once or twice, there's a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, if you go to like 10 weddings a year and that's happening at 5 weddings, there's a problem.
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
No, I'm just saying to people like there's a problem here. And it's like because everyone thinks just an alcoholic is someone like who drinks every day and like, like is crazy
I
and
still don't view Danny like that at all. I just
that
think he's literally like a high schooler who doesn't drink often, and that when he does, like he doesn't know how to handle his liquor, so he's like that obnoxious drunk, and that's it.
yeah, which is a problem in a marriage.
Oh my gosh. But if it's not often, okay, I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
so because I'm obnoxious, like Jacob always says, he's like, Roxanne,
Which you're a
you,
problem.
he's like, you are the most obnoxious. He's like, when your friend will drop you home, which like very rare that I do this. And he's like, you guys go out. He's like, you come home and you'll like get on top of me and like be obnoxious and like hump me, not to like do anything, just like being obnoxious. And he's like, it is the most obnoxious thing ever. Cause like, I'm not where you're at. So like, no. And I'm like,
Literally.
yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, yeah, like okay, so also, but I just can never be on reality TV. Also on the after show, Michelle says that she worked very hard and she's proud of like what she's accomplished and that she feels like being with Jesse, who's always diminishing what she has done. Jesse says like he was very triggered because Michelle was lying about him and an article had come out right before he texted that thing to the boys chat. But he, as soon as he texted that, he's like, why did I say that? So that's how we know that it had nothing to do with this mole thing. By the way, Danny's not in that chat anymore. They kicked him out. Yeah. Michelle was angry that so Michelle was angry that Danny didn't call her about like the whole Jesse thing because like she feels that Danny should have went and told her what he said in the chat, which like, I disagree with entirely.
No.
Just stop right now.
Literally stop.
Yeah, she said that they see each other at church and he should have apologized. Listen, if my girl best friend did that and she went and just because she's friends with my husband told him some like off the wall shit I said, bye. Like, nope, I don't owe it to you.
Like we're not
bye.
playing that much telephone here.
Right. Michelle believes that Jesse's trying to prolong their divorce so she doesn't get remarried. But the fact that she's thinking about getting remarried is scaring me.
Yeah.
And if what Michelle is saying is true about Jesse prolonging it, that is annoying. But the fact that you have like this little girl and you're already, after being in like a really miserable marriage, thinking about getting married, it just like concerns me.
Which goes to show that there has been more to their relationship because like, how are you already there with this guy?
That while you're still married.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have a little girl. Let's like just put our focus on this little girl and not even consider remarrying at this time. Like, let's find ourselves for a minute. She
100%.
says that
it's all too much.
Yeah, she says that Jesse is asking for half the money back for their wedding paid because he paid for the entire thing.
Okay, I hate when people do this.
I know, this is petty.
She says that so petty.
She says he also paid for her wedding dress. So without the wedding dress, he paid $140,000 for their wedding, and then he paid for her wedding dress. And like, if you're gonna ever ask me for half the money back, like something's wrong with you, and I'm exposing you for sure. So
no, that's weird. It's like, should we all be keeping track of what we pay for in our lives and be like, what did we pay so that if it gets to this point, we ask for it back? Like, no.
Right. Michelle also says on the after show that he's in a lot of financial trouble. She says that once they had a baby, she didn't want to work as much, but they were 50-50 business partners. And Jessie says like she just like stopped working. Michelle says that they're still on the same health insurance until they divorce and that she'll get a text from him saying, you owe me half. But she's like, then he goes out to eat at Craig's and he'll tell me like, you owe me half. I don't have money to pay this. And I don't think him asking for the health insurance half is a big deal.
No, I don't either. And like, maybe he has to tell you that way so that you pay him. But like at this point, you guys are separate. You're dating someone else. Like nothing should be paid by him at all. Not even a phone bill for you. Like,
and again, like her putting this out there, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Unless he was really like wealthy, like, like that's why. And sometimes like, that's where respect comes from. Like, like if you have there can be some decent guys. And if you had a good, decent, no one has a good divorce, but like a okay divorce, like, yeah, some things will be kept being paid from this person. But because like you guys are nasty towards each other, like why would anyone do anything for you?
Yeah.
And you have a boyfriend right away.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, as soon as you have a boyfriend, game over.
Game over. Like, go have him pay for it.
On the after show, they talk about Nia having the password to Danny's phone. And it's funny because I feel like Nia is the only one who has the password. And one time, like she apparently
Which is
even
weird, you guys. I'm sorry, at that point, everyone needs a password.
you need the password no matter what.
No.
No matter what. Okay. I don't care. I don't care. Say that we're the problem. You need the password.
Yep. You're the problem. I'm just kidding.
Right. No, yeah, we're kidding, but not really. And okay, so she even gave one time Britt a heads up about like Jackson a girl because of her reading the group chat.
Oh, see, like I don't like that though.
I know I wouldn't do that either, to be quite honest. I wouldn't.
But then, but that's not true though, because like, what if I saw something like on Bale's phone about Jacob? Like, of course I'd go and tell you, but like,
for you,
like,
I would, yeah.
yeah. So like, I can understand it, but then like
I
that's
don't
where it's
think
like,
you would tell me.
what?
Yeah, I don't think you would.
If I saw some like if I saw Jacob and a girl together on his phone,
You're like reading the voice chat where Jacob like brings up like a girl, like would you tell me?
brings up a girl.
Yeah, like that's what it is. Like he brought up like being with a girl.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean?
By the way, Stassi made Bo leave this chat because he was also in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, this show is lit.
I know. Michelle talks about her new boyfriend and says he was just always a friend. And then one day they just run into each other when they were getting a divorce. And she told him, I'm getting a divorce. And then he looks at her and says, I would love to get lunch with you. And I'm just like, I can't. And Michelle says that she doesn't want to be around Jesse, but they're like, my whole thing is like, you're both on this show. So that's definitely not going to happen. And they both joined it together as a couple. And so I was dying because Jasmine was like, this isn't traitors. Like you can't banish anyone. And it's like, if you really truly don't want to be around this man, get off the show.
Yep. I was thinking it too. Like the only way that like people are going to take you serious is if you really say like my mental health matters more. I can't stand this guy. I want nothing to do with him. And you got the show. But
And
again,
we've said this so many times, Chantel, because Jesse is obviously even inviting you to the house. You're trying to ice him out. And I hate the icing out thing. I really do. So.
But especially at his event, his party. Are you okay?
Right. So that's all that we have for the Valley, which again, please, if you're not listening, listen to it or watch it. I'm sorry. Also, leave us a good review. We need some updated reviews and catch our next episode where we're going to talk Summer House. So
yes.
we are making up for last week, you guys.
We sure are.
Chantel was like, do you want to just like save one episode for next week? I'm like, no, Chantel, we promised 4 episodes. We're doing 4 episodes.
I didn't know we promised 4. I thought we promised 3, but here we go.
Yep. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.